Hello, my name's Christian, and I got to interview the talented voice actress Nicole Goodnight, also known as the voice for the princess in Slay the Princess. I've actually interviewed her before on my other channel, Dunderheads, where it was a much more extensive interview, while this interview is mainly following up with some questions on the Pristine cut since that released. But with that information out of the way, I hope you enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm alright. First off, again, super surface level, of all the new and updated routes, of Happily Ever After, Princess and the Dragon Cage, etc., what's your favorite inclusion/princess, if there's a difference from all of the... Yeah.
Happily Ever After. Happily
Definitely.
Ever After, hand down, Happily Ever After, yeah.
I figured, going into that, you said in our last interview that there was one route that, in particular, you were incapable of playing without crying. Which I assume is Happily Ever After, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the process of recording that, and what about it touched you in particular so much?
Okay, so we're about to get real deep, but it's okay. I'm gonna preface what I'm about to say by I promise it's okay.
Okay,
so,
okay.
No one listening, don't get sad. It's fine. I'm sorry. I know it's a sad topic I'm about to bring up, but it's fine. I promise. There's no sadness that goes along with it, really. I mean, there is, but it's not bad. So Happily Ever After. When we recorded it, I hadn't actually read through of it ahead of time. I kind of knew the general gist, that it was kind of codenamed the divorce route. So reading through Happily Ever After, I oftentimes, when I did my reads, would do a cold read or wouldn't look at lines ahead of time and would just look at them right before recording them. So I didn't actually know the full gist of what I was about to be reading. And when I read that it was about someone who was in a relationship that she didn't feel like she wanted to be in, but she was trying because she felt like she had to, that perfectly described my ex-marriage. And I'm currently in the process of going through a divorce from that marriage. So reading those lines and essentially having lived through that, you're with someone, you don't hate them, they didn't do anything wrong, but you're with them because you feel like you have to be. And then, getting to the part where she asks, you asks about if you ever cared, and the answer is yes. And then it's because it was all worth it then. That ended my life.
Yeah. That
was a headshot to me. And then obviously spoilers, but when you dance under the stars, it was just I cannot, I physically can't. You can actually, in the shifting mound fight, where if you fight the shifting mound and you get the random little snippets that the various princesses say, one of the lines that she says, you can actually hear that I'm physically crying during that line read. But that path meant a lot to me, just because of everything that I was going through and how very similar my experience was to what the experience that I was voice acting. At the end of the recording session, Tony and Appy were like, wow, you really nailed that one. I was like, yeah.
Well, it's awesome to have such a route that you're so connected to. But man, yeah, that's a good answer. All right. Question then, because last time that we did an interview, you said your favorite, beyond everything, there wasn't even comparison, was The Prisoner. Is this above that now?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think as far as princesses themselves, I think Prisoner and The Cage are still kind of top tier for me. But as far as routes go, I feel it's got to be Happily Ever After. It has to be.
That's fair. That's a good answer. That might count as the answer to that. But so also last time I interviewed, you said the hardest voice you did was the Wraith. Did you find any of the voices added on to be more difficult than that? Do you have a new hardest voice? I don't know if that would count, because that, yeah.
No, because so for Damsel Chapter 3, so for Happily Ever After, it was just basically it was just the damsel, but clearly going through it, right? You can tell that she's not comfortable, she's not happy, she's trying her best, she's trying to make it work, but it's just not working out. And frankly, that's that is just a voice that I am very, very in tune with in my life.
Yes.
So that was not a hard voice to hit. And with Princess and the Dragon, that was a very fun voice, because it was basically, is the unmodulated voice. And it's very similar to my natural. And Prisoner was very fun too. They're all fun. Nothing came close to the trials and tribulations I went through for
Wraith.
Wraith,
Yeah. So my new personal favorite route is definitely the Princess and the Dragon.
Yeah.
And I have to ask, what was it like recording that? Was it satisfying at all for you to have the player be put in the position that you're acting from? So quite literally having to see things from like your eyes, that you're having to, see things through.
Yeah, I thought that was incredibly cool. I'm so glad. I feel like every new path that they added definitely added something, right? No path, and that's the big thing that they wanted when adding content is they didn't want to add content just to add content. They wanted to add content that added to the game. And I feel like the Princess and the Dragon added to the game in a way that no other path possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, really cool for it because you're now seeing it from your own perspective, or rather from the princess's perspective, who I guess is my own. And it's really neat to see, you see the Slayer come, and it's so cool. I love the way it was executed as well. I think they did a really good job.
No, it was executed wonderfully, and you did great as always.
Thank you.
So this is something I was really curious about just after our last interview did the Prisoner being your favorite princess make any impact in the Prisoner getting their third act?
No, not even a little bit. Nope, they actually had that planned for a while. I'm trying to remember if they had it planned already by the time we spoke last time. I think they did. But it had no impact on that. It's just, I think that's one that they really wanted to expand. And so she got a little bit of an expansion. And I love the direction that they went with her.
So you stated after the Pristine cut that there would be changes to this.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to see you. I need to see if anything changed. Obviously, there's the new princesses down there. Let's just see if any placements here have changed their positions.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we get to do this again. Let me make this bigger. All right. So, Damsel Chapter 3, S tier, 100%.
Of course.
She's my sweet baby girl. I relate to her so much. I love her. My pride and my joy. Oh my gosh. So this is going to sound so bad, but I think all 3 routes are S tier for me. They were...
Okay.
They were all really well done, and I feel like, especially with the Princess and the Dragon, added so much to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Damsel Chapter 3 route is really the first time that you see a manifestation of one of the voices. So seeing the Smitten as a shadowy controlling figure is not something that I even expected when going into it. And it's not even something that I realized was happening at first. Because I think if you don't, it only really makes it crystal clear if you choose certain options that is Smitten. But that was I love that they did that. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think all 3 of the routes myself also are all S tier. They add a lot to the game. So, no, for sure. This is, once again, it's been updated. The only objectively correct tier list. That is how that works. If you have a different opinion, it's wrong. Sorry to put it to you.
I remember when putting these through, though, I wanted to put them all at S, and I do remember putting Beast as a B for Beast.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think you also did A for Apotheosis.
I did A for Apotheosis.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I'm going to be honest, that's honestly the majority of the questions that I have, and the tier list. I knew it was going to be way shorter than the first one. So, is there anywhere people can find you? Is there any upcoming projects that you have to promote, or anything like that? Or yeah.
No, I don't think I have any upcoming projects still. Not wishing, crossing fingers, hoping, praying. Yeah, I still stream on Twitch, though honestly not as much. I can very cheekily direct you to another Twitch that has someone on there that sounds so similar to me. It's so strange. A corporate VTuber named Camisole Corzette, who, wow, so weird, sounds so much like me, so bizarre. Couldn't imagine why. But Twitch.tv/Camizole, it's CAMIZOLE, Corzette, CORZETTE. Check her out. She sounds familiar, and who knows why? It's such a mystery. But I do still stream on my own account once in a while. But other than that, it's who knows why Camizole sounds so similar.
It's so funny.
She played through Slay the Princess, and one of the comments that she got was, "You sound an awfully lot like the princess." And that was a very funny, fun thing to deal with. The response was, "It's the only imitation I know how to do." And I think some people caught on, and I think some people just genuinely thought she was a good imitator.
Mm-hmm.
So, kudos to me, I guess.
That's funny. That's funny. I love that.
Deceitful.
Well, yeah. With that, thank you all for watching. That's about it. Peace.
I'm waving.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the interview. This is my first video on this solo channel, so you should totally subscribe and help support it. I plan on doing a lot more stuff like this on the channel because I find indie game gems like Slay the Princess super interesting, and I love talking about them. But yeah, that's about it. It's been an honor, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.